everybody, I'm Tom Vessel.
And I'm Chris Yee.
And today we're talking about the best and worst of all the board game legacy games that are out there. I did this 5 years ago, and I talked about, I think, 17, and now there is more than 30.
Yeah, just a bit over 30. It's funny, we were putting this together, and I was going through and marking which ones I have played and I haven't. Compared to you, I haven't played as many, and I thought, I don't know if I should even be here. And then I realized, I still played like 19 of them. That's a lot of legacy games.
There is a lot, and they often take a good chunk of effort to play through them. If you don't know, the legacy game is a game where when you play through, you play almost campaign style, and you make permanent changes to the game. Where the line is on what is a legacy game or not can be tricky, so we've just called it as to the games that are on this list. These are all of them. And so we're just going to go through them from worst to best, keeping in mind that we have different rankings on some. We don't waver too much. There's a few that we disagree on, but for the most part, you'll see.
Yeah, there's a few noticeable big ones, but we've kind of taken an averaged score between our two based on where we rank them. 1 out of 28, I think, for you, 1 out of 30 or something for you, and then 1 out of 19 or 20 for me.
Yeah, 28, I believe. Yeah, so we're going to jump into them. So let me get over to that. And here we go. Let's start with the lowest ranked one for me.
And the lowest ranked one for me.
And I feel bad. I don't mean to keep harping on Seafall because, and by the way, when we go through this, there will be generalities, not any major spoilers, but I might, by giving my opinion on the ending of a campaign, that could be considered a spoiler.
Sure.
Seafall, more than almost any other game on this list, swung for the fences. They really, Rob Daviau had success with Pandemic Legacy and Risk Legacy, and now he was going to make his own game. Cannot fault him for that.
No, and there's a lot of great ideas in here, a lot of good story. I mean, a lot of good potential moments for story that just didn't really seem to pay off. And you discover a new island, and here's the 2 paths before you. They're the same ones as kind of the other times we've been to new islands and such.
It was also kind of a chunky Euro game at parts, and that didn't mix well with the exploration. Unfortunately, there is a doodad and thing they added halfway through, which I thought is one of the coolest things ever added in a legacy game. It did not pay off, but I would love to see that in another legacy game at some point.
I agree. It made you reevaluate everything you had seen up to that point, and then you say, oh my gosh, this is going to change everything. And it changed like 2 things. So, yeah, it like you said, swung for the fences, but it was hard to get through. I think I played 7 games, and then I said, well, I've seen the Dice Tower review on it. I'm just going to open up everything else and have fun that way.
My second lowest rated one here, and this I actually kind of struggled which one to put on the lowest, and I finally put Seafall. Jurassic World: The Legacy of Isla Nublar. This is number 28 for me, or 27 for me. And is this your second lowest?
This is my second. This is my number 18. This one starts off very good, I think, is the disappointing part. That first intro scenario is like a very good promise of things to come.
I remember they sent a representative, and we played it live on our channel, and I was like, that was so fun. I can't wait to see the rest of it.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize was the amount of rules that they introduced for each scenario is immense. The game has these little puzzles that it relies on a lot, to the point where you get so sick of those puzzles after a while. The whole dinosaur thing becomes a background to a slide puzzle.
I think one thing that you'll notice when we get to the highest up, some of the higher up legacy games, something that these games have been doing is as they introduce new mechanisms, they have a natural way to fade those out so that you don't get too much of a slog in the later games. And this one didn't do that. So the first game is fun. The second one, it introduces something new. Add some things to this key ring. And at some point you go, stop adding new things.
Yeah.
Or get rid of the ones I'm tired of doing. I don't want to flip coins anymore at this point.
And I can tell you, for legacy games, for me, I want new stuff. There needs to be a constant influx of new stuff that makes me like it more. But if you overwhelm and do too much new stuff, and there's several games that are lower because of that, and this is one of them.
Yep.
All right, the next for me is Shadowrun Crossfire. This is one I think you have not played.
I have not. So yeah, this is the average of your ranking.
Yeah, this is what number was this for me?
For you, this was your 26.
Yeah, 26. Yeah, and here's the thing: I think Shadowrun Crossfire is slightly better than some of the other games on this list, but as a legacy, the problem Shadowrun Crossfire had was it was the slowest legacy game I've ever played, to the point where I just house rolled it after a while. I was like, we're going to get more stuff. Because you get these little stickers you put on, and they'd be like, you can get one after 5 experience. Your first game, did you lose? You get 1. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I am not playing this game that much.
I noticed there are some legacy games that do the slow roll of stuff, and they're primarily aimed at a younger age group. And I think that's not bad, because kids particularly will benefit from playing the same game, the same scenario a few times before moving on. But yeah, something like this for me is not what I want.
This is also a big, hard, heavy cooperative game.
Yeah.
All right, next is the first one I have not played, Sagrada Artisans.
This is my 16 out of 19. I like Sagrada. I like that game a good amount. This one has a really great conceit where you're going through a coloring book. So instead of placing dice on a little grid, every page of this coloring book is different shapes, different little connection points. It's that part's so fun. Kind of what you said about Shadowrun. This is let down, I think, by kind of a clunky legacy part of the game. Mm-hmm. I would thoroughly enjoy just playing the coloring book pages, but in order to like go through all of that, to get these upgrades, to maintain this, go through and put these stickers in different places, remember where they are, this part of the book unfolds, and remember that you also have to check that before game 3. That's kind of where this one let me down.
Mm. It looks cool, though.
It's beautiful.
All right, next we have Flashpoint Legacy of Flame. What number is this for me?
24 for you.
24. I like the original game. Part of this for me is that the original game, though, has dropped tremendously for me, because in the years since it's come out, my tolerance for extreme luck just blowing up a game is less, and that's compounded in Legacy. I don't want to play a mission in a Legacy game where everything goes wrong and we lose, and I'm like, well, we lost. You know, in a regular cooperative game, you go, we lost. Let's set up and do it again. Here you're like, well, now there's repercussions for the rest of the campaign. And that with clunky rule books, it just didn't come across very well.
Not enough in your control to choose whether you get those different
It's an okay story. I think the base was the biggest problem here. Betrayal Legacy. This is one of the ones I was most excited about. This is what number did I put this in?
23 for you.
23.
And I haven't played this one.
Yeah, Betrayal Legacy, you have to really like Betrayal House on the Hill, and that's what this is. It starts off with a bang, a very good bang, and then kind of fizzles for a while. You're also playing Betrayal a lot, with all the problems Betrayal House on the Hill brings. I had hoped this one was better. I don't dislike it. My ranking for it has gone down a little bit over the years. I have it ranked as 7 here, but it's probably now a 6 would be more like it. So,
Good for a hoot and a holler. I like Betrayal for that reason, right?
And speaking of this next one, Divinus.
Oof, you're 21, my 17. 17 out of 19, 21 out of 29 for you.
This to me is the epitome of a legacy game has to be exciting, and there's none here.
Oof, man, there's so much promise in this one, right? The app that allows you to, without scanning QR codes, allows you to take pictures of your landscape and different events and stuff will happen. Some of that stuff worked pretty well. Just the game was not interesting. Allocating these dice and putting out these
really
little terrains.
wasn't.
I mean, that cover versus the actual feel of the game of just kind of placing out terrains next to each other. Every once in a while, you might be able to put like an army sticker on a tile.
And then it had had a pretty long story, like chunks of text, which were not particularly interesting. But every once in a while, I'd be like, you found something. I'd be like, what'd I find? And they'd be like, you found a treasure. Anyway, moving on. And I was like, what on earth? It was so disappointing. I found this one.
I agree with you.
Then we have Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold. This is the second Aeon's End Legacy. I played the first, not the second, so I can't speak to this one.
Yeah, so I played through a chunk of this one, and I have the first Aeon's End Legacy ranked much higher than this one. Mm-hmm. This one, you didn't necessarily build or develop your own character, which I thought was kind of a step back. It makes it a more cohesive story with the whole arc of what's going on in the Aeon's End universe, i.e., there was a good guy, and he's like, oh, we should use dark magic for good. and then it was corrupted. Oh no! And so this is just another continuation of that story. So you don't have the character development. You play through lots of different characters. It's just another one of those kind of too much upkeep in between sessions, too many new characters, and you're sitting there going, well, I'm barely upgrading the character I'm already playing. Why would I try one of the 5 new characters just thrown at me? Let me keep upgrading my character. Fine, I'll play that one. And I'll upgrade him. Oh, there's like 6 new characters now. You know what I mean? Too much in too short a time.
Then My Island. Boy, we're starting to sense that sequels don't do so well in legacy games.
That is kind of interesting.
This is the follow-up to My City, which, since you haven't seen yet, is obviously ranked higher. This one, there's a lot of legacy games that I feel don't stick the landing. I've already mentioned a couple. Seafall definitely did not stick the landing, but
sure.
I think My Island doesn't stick the landing at all. It starts out, it's fine. The first couple games are fine. I don't think it's as good as My City, even the base game, but it was fine. I enjoyed it. And then it just kept getting... And then at the end, I was like, what is this trash I'm playing?
Yeah, this is your 25th out of 29. This is my 14th out of 19. And it's... Or 28, I think, is your base number. But yeah, it's not as good as the original. It gives you more flexibility in a lot of ways. But then, yeah, as you start unlocking kind of like the big unlocks... I just wasn't that interested in it.
Yeah. Oh, well. Next, we have Zombie Teens Evolution. Again, another sequel rated lower than the first one. But this is something that brings... My reason for rating this one low, what would I give this one? This is 22, I think.
This is your 22, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't played this one.
I have. I played the first one, and we'll talk about that.
So the first one, Chris already mentioned it. It slow rolls the
new Legacy stuff.
new Legacy in a kid's game. You can't slow roll Legacy in a teenager game. It's too slow. That's the biggest problem with this one. I started house rolling and been like, we are opening this pack. We're going farther. And the base game I didn't think was as strong as Zombie Kids. So that's why I have it ranked lower.
It's part of the reason I haven't played this one, yeah.
Star Realms Rise of Empire. Wow, oh wow. This one starts off so strong, and then the ending is just destroyed. At the risk of spoiling some... The final game of Star Realms Rise of Empire is a 2-player legacy. And you are upgrading. The game gives you lots of stickers and you upgrade. And around game 5, you run out of stickers. But you're still legacying. Not really. You just keep playing. And then you get to the final game. And the final game, they're like, now it's co-op and you fight the blob. And you're like, what? Wait, what? We were going to see who won. And it's not just a co-op, but one person's going to win. So if I feel like the blob's going to kill us all, I'm like, then just kill us all. Why should I help you win? It's such a lackluster ending.
Oh, no. This is your 20th.
Yeah.
20 out of 28.
But I mean, it's Star Realms. It's a fun game, and I like the first part of it a lot. Hey, here's My City. This one I enjoyed. I think we've turned a corner here from legacy games that I'm like, now I'm starting to like them.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is your 19th out of 20. This is my 12th. Both of us like this one more than the Island follow-up. I think the things that you unlock over the course of this game, there's not something that kind of just lands with a thud.
Yeah, but also, there's nothing that lands with any excitement either. This is a good workhorse legacy game. And I really recommend this for families who like playing a game and don't need the big splashes and what's going to happen. There's a new rule. Okay, there's a new thing. Okay, we'll play it this week. And I think you play almost 3 games of the new stuff. It's 3 games, right?
Yes, but there is a little rules difference in each of those games.
There's a rules difference, but new stuff is introduced.
Every three games, you open a new envelope. And I think that's a good balance, right? It's not overwhelming.
Right.
But each of those 3 games, you're like, okay, what do you play this time? Libraries score 1 extra point if they're next to Forest. You're like, oh, that's fun. It's just enough different from game to game. This is the one where you cannot flip the polyomino tiles, and it's so frustrating. It's magically designed that I always want the little Z piece to be flipped the other way.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because it's a little bit frustrating for how even keel it is, but it is quite a good experience.
Then we have Clank Legacy 2. This is the follow-up to Clank. This one I fizzled out on somewhat more. Clank is one of my favorite, or if not favorite, you'll find out, of legacy games. This one, they were like, oh, everyone liked the original Clank Legacy, bringing out tons of stuff. we are going to give you even more. And at some point, you're like, stop with the fire hose. I was spending 45 minutes pre and post game just setting stuff up and stickering things.
There's a delicate balance.
There's sometimes too much dessert, right?
Yes.
Also, a few games in this are cooperative, and I like them considerably less than competitive. I didn't want to play cooperative Clank. I want to play competitive Clank.
That's interesting. Yeah, you ranked this one 17, which is, like you said, you still enjoy it, but it's a noticeable step down from what you feel about the first one. Continuing this little trend here.
This one I've played the original game, Ziggurat is his next one. I played Space Escape, which this is based on, but that was not a legacy game.
Space Escape? Did they change the name of Mole Rats in Space?
Oh, I'm sorry. I played Mole Rats in Space, which I think was called Space Escape in some places. Yes.
Probably, yeah, changed titles and stuff. So you might have played... Maybe you may have played one scenario of this.
I played one scenario, but I didn't see any of the legacy, so I haven't even ranked this because I only played it before it was published.
Yeah, this is a good children's game, right? The one that is based off of is a Matt Leacock kind of pandemic-ish. You do 3 good actions and then flip over a bad thing, and you just take turns doing that. I like the way that it works in this one. It has a fun 3D structure. It introduces the right amount of new stuff. You're stickering things, and all of a sudden certain spaces, have little bonuses or threats to them. And so over the course of the campaign, you are making little extra decisions here and there. And I think it has a satisfying little story twist, like a children's story twist to it. So yeah, I rank this one pretty highly, actually. This is my 11th. And yeah, there's 10 more stronger games than it. But for the age range it's aiming for, I think it's quite strong.
This next one's a really weird one. Kingdom Legacy Feudal Kingdom. Because if we're ranking by the game, the gameplay, this could easily be in my top 3. I loved playing this. This is a solo game. Playing through the game of it is so much fun. But it's legacy, and what drives me nuts is you don't use a good chunk of it. It says here a 6-hour solo campaign. I feel that's if you're playing slow. Because I got through it in like 3 hours. Yeah. And then you're done. You cannot replay it. That drives me nuts. Because especially, it's one of those things you play through and you're like, oh, I didn't know that wasn't a deck. I would have maybe built this differently or done this. Well, too bad. And you can't go back. This is a game I feel should have been an app, almost. And then the company was like, oh, well, you have a problem with that? They sent me 3 more decks. Like, that's not what I'm asking here. It's
as a product for us to recommend to people, it really takes a big hit for that reason. This is one of the few games that I think is a little bit worse as a product because it's a legacy game.
Did you like the game, though?
I did. It has a sort of a... I don't know why I'm comparing it to Race for the Galaxy. It's not in gameplay. In structure, it's not like that, but just these combinations, and as you make things, you kind of get this great feeling of, yeah, I'm building up cool stuff.
It's almost like a Sim City, though, because you get some cards and you can I can upgrade one. You can turn it the other way or flip it over and you're like, oh, wow, now I get that card. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I really want to upgrade this now. Yeah, there's so much excitement to it. This would be better served, I think, instead of a one-shot game where you sticker things and you write on stuff or tear stuff up. This would be kind of like that Time Stories, like, I want to do multiple runs of it.
Yeah, or if they had a board and you're like, hey, you're going to do this permanent, because a lot of things aren't permanent, but some stuff is, just mark this here. So from now on, whenever you draw a sheep, you get 1 extra wood. Oh, okay, I know that now.
Yeah, there's a few, yeah. It's too bad because they made, I think, a follow-up game to this one that we haven't played, Kingdom Legacy, Space Kingdoms, or...
Yeah, something like that. I have not played that.
Eastern Kingdoms or whatever, but I'm hesitant to, even though I like the game so much. So yeah, you're 11, my 13.
For casual people, I already mentioned My City's a good one. Another good one is Machikoro Legacy. This is my number what?
You're number 15.
15. It's very simple. You're playing Machikoro, and you're going back and forth, and when you're done, you have your own custom set of cards to keep playing with. It's the best one that goes on. It's probably closer to Machikoro 2 than it is Machikoro, even though they're basically the same game. It's Legacy, very simple, easy to play. Solid. Yeah. Then we have Zombie Kids Evolution. What are the numbers on this?
This is your 16. This is my 9. So I think my ranking of this kind of bumps this up a little bit more. I love this as a kid's game. Well, you actually have it ranked as an 8.5.
Yeah, for kids, I think my kids enjoyed it more than I did. I like it fine. That's very enjoyable. But it slow rolls the legacy part. There's one minor thing I don't love in it, that they give special powers to the different kids at different times. At
different times, yes.
And so I almost want to be like, have your kid play this character so they get theirs first, because it's kind of almost like, where's my lollipop? But that's the only minor thing. Other than that, it's a lot of fun.
It's a good base game. I didn't realize that Zombie Kids was actually a standalone game where you just protect the 4 entrance points of your little school and you run around and you do that. But this game is way better off being a legacy by introducing all these new things. I felt it. It's a little slow. I wouldn't have minded 2 stickers, to advance
and
the
you
story.
can do that if you want to.
Absolutely. But yeah, I like this one so much. This is one of my favorite kids' legacy games.
Then we have The King's Dilemma, which has dimmed for me a bit, but I still really like it. This is one of the few times, though, where the experience is stronger than the game. The game for King's Dilemma is fine. You're voting on these dilemmas for this king, who apparently needs you to decide. And there's some back and forth. This one has paled because this is one of the few legacy games where the sequel is better. Queen's Dilemma, which we'll talk about soon. But The King's Dilemma is still solid, and I had a really fun experience with it. The game is fine.
Is your number 13, King's Dilemma? I have not played the original.
And you probably won't, I would bet.
I feel that way too, yeah.
Then the OG, Risk Legacy. And I'm sure you haven't played this one just because it's Risk.
I never had a group to play with. This is your number 12, right?
Yeah.
I know that, Wendy wouldn't love playing this many games of Risk. And I don't know. I just didn't really have ever a group to check it out with. But I'm still to this day tempted to, even though it's the oldest legacy. And they've refined things along the way. Rob Davio has, but it just sounds great.
It was one of the few times I would be playing a game and they would be like, "You open this box if you do this thing." I'm like, that is so not beneficial for us. I'm doing it. Let's make it happen, because I want to see what's in that box. And I thought the surprises were grandiose, big surprises. This was a game where they were like, look what happens now. And also, again, it was the first time they're like, this is your territory. Name it whatever you want. You're like, really? Yeah. That sort of thing it just kind of blew my mind. And they had the winner sign the board, which is only, I don't know that any other legacy game since has done that. Maybe someone has, but you signed the board if you won.
I think in the pandemic ones, you could, as a team, sign the board and there's those things that are mechanical legacy elements, and then there are those things that are just emotional. And being able to name a continent after yourself or whatever, that feels good. Yeah. That is a good example of what legacy games can do as well.
Then we're up to Aeon's End Legacy. This is one we disagree on slightly. I gave it a 7. What did I rank this number as?
This is your 18th. This is my 3rd.
So the main difference here is how much we like Aeon's End. You like Aeon's End much more than I do.
Yeah, I do. It's one of my favorite cooperative game systems.
I also really kind of disliked that this one was like, hey, you've never played Aeon's End? Good, because you're going to play half of the game, and it's not until game 3 or something. The first few legacy elements, I'm like, those aren't legacy elements. You're just giving me more of the base game. I found that to be annoying.
Yeah, I hadn't played too much Aeon's End before this. I had, and I always kind of...
This was actually a good way to learn the game.
That's part of the reason I like it so much, is because this was how I really solidified the rules and how Wendy was introduced to the system. So we played through this, and like I said earlier, making your own characters and feeling those characters upgraded throughout was so satisfying. And this has some of my favorite boss fights out of any of the... Because Aeon's End is basically a boss battler.
Yeah.
There's one that uses without any particular spoiling, but this is one of those games you always have a grid of cards available to you, and it uses that in this really great way that no other boss has done. And I thought, just copy that again. Put that in one of the new Aeon End boxes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. 3.
Charterstone.
This is your 6th. This is my 10th.
So Charterstone is one of the few games I think that when you are done, it is a really solid game. Very solid game, I think. The one missing thing from Charterstone in the end game is the excitement of opening new stuff, which there's a lot of.
Yeah, but otherwise it's a very good worker placement game through and through.
Happily for this one, and I'm sure Stonemeyer doesn't want me to tell you not to buy the game, but don't buy the game. Go get the app, because you can play through the whole Legacy thing as the app multiple times. You know, you buy a reset thing and you go through, and I've actually done it, and I thought it was pretty fun.
It's a really good app for that. I mean, I'm sure that their sales have slowed down of this, but what a cool way to make sure that new people can still get into it.
The reason Charterstone's not as high up as the next 10 or whatever is just because it was a very solid game. This is one where the game was better than the Legacy. The Legacy stuff, there's a moment in this game where they introduce a mechanism, which I think is one of the dumbest, stupidest things I've ever seen in a Legacy game. We're like, what does that do? And then we were like, oh, that. And if you played it, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's just like, huh?
It's kind of the opposite of that Seafall moment where you go, oh, and then it kind of lets you down. This one just goes,
Thanks for wasting money on that. But I do like this one a lot. Then Regicide Legacy. This is one of the newest ones on the list. Not the newest, one of the newest ones. If you like Regicide, I think this is better. You're upgrading your cards. It also has an amazing end game so that you can go back and it lets you play lots of different scenarios.
This is your number 10, and it's interesting because, and I haven't played it yet, you've kind of spoken less highly of like cooperative elements in Legacy games, just kind of incidentally. But this is a very high up one.
Well, I'll tell you why I like this one so much, because I don't play it cooperatively. This is a solo game for me.
Oh, yeah?
And I play Regicide solo. I get it. I would like Regicide a lot less playing with other people, because it would fall into that category of, okay, well, we got to like work this weird puzzle out and the cards in our hands. I just spread my hand out and go, how can I do this?
Yeah,
and
I'm going to do some walloping.
It's fun. I tend to like solo Legacy, the idea of it. I like the Kingdom Legacy. This one, though, much longer, and when it's done, you have a full game.
Nice.
Then we have stickers. Now, I thought stickers would be higher on your list, and I actually almost put higher in mine, because if there's a Legacy game that has brought me more joy than almost any other Legacy game, this might win for that.
Yeah, that's fair. Because this is my favorite of the children's or family weight cooperative games.
I agree on that, probably.
The basic game of this is one of those where there's no, like, it's not based on anything before.
That's right.
The basic game of this is a fun, almost Reiner Knizia-like card game. Good scoring, good little gameplay, and then you stack these Legacy elements on top of it, and it's just incredible.
And they're very easy. By the time you're done, you have a slightly more complicated card game. That's every time is fun to play.
Yeah.
It really is a fun game to play. There's interesting area control type cards. We really liked it.
There's big envelopes every several games, but there is an envelope or a booster pack you open every game, which I think is smart because it just increases like a few little stats here and there. But more importantly, you get to decorate the cards. You're putting stickers on these cards that you're playing. Some of them have a mechanical purpose. Many of them don't.
Yep. Who cares?
But it's, like you said, just pure joy. I thought this one was getting a wider release. I don't know if it has ever gotten a North American release.
It's a bummer. Keep an eye out. If this ever comes out, you should get it if you have a family. I really think this is the best family Legacy game, I think. I don't know if I have one that's higher.
Yeah. Your 7, my 8.
I have one higher. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. The Rise of Queensdale. This is the last one, well, the second last one on the list that Chris hasn't played, but this is one that Chris should play at some point. Because I'm sure you'll find a copy of this cheap, but I think you and Wendy and your daughter would like playing through this.
That's true. My daughter's old enough. She could probably...
It's a straight Euro-style game where you're rolling dice and using resources and kind of building out this area. You each have a quadrant of the map, but at a certain point you can also move your little guy in the other people's quadrant and go look at their stuff. It has a decent, genteel storyline about the queen. It's not
Queen's Dilemma.
Dark things happening. Yeah, it's very opposite of Queen's Dilemma. But I enjoyed it, and I played this one. I distinctly remember we played this over 2020 because we were stuck at home, and I played it with my family, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, one I do want to check out.
Cozy Stickerville. This is the best family one.
I don't know why. I spaced that. You're right.
Okay, but I'll say this. Stickers is a better game. Cozy Stickerville is barely a game.
It really is. It has enough of a structure to it, but it just keeps giving you little opportunities to explore new pathways. Check this out. That sort of, what's that video game everyone loves? That's sort of that Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah,
type
sure.
of type
Animal
of
Crossing.
Yeah, just all of that like fun, pleasant little, not even adventure, but you just kind of get invested in these fun little storylines. Gosh, it's so good.
Then we have the first of the 3 pandemics, Pandemic Legacy Season 2. And I'm actually surprised this is ranked where it is through your math, because this is my 14.
Yeah, this is my number 1. I really had a hard time kind of saying, well, which of the Pandemic Legacies do I like the most? I rated this as my number 1 of the Legacy games because I think that this one pushed the envelope from Season 1.
Yes, I agree on that.
And really became its own game. And right from the get-go, you notice that instead of doing the pandemic thing of preventing cubes from building up, you're supplying cubes out there. It's a nice little twist on the same formula. But the amount of exploration you do in this game and discovering and learning, the story is fantastic. Mechanically opening up new areas is fantastic. I remember there was so much hype around this one going into it, and it lived up to it.
Yeah, it's my reason that it's lower for me, it's not your number 1, is just because it swung for the fence. It's a little bit more fragile than the others. You can have a harder or easier game based on what you've done. And the ending was, I just didn't love the ending as much.
I watched your guys' playthrough after
I'm sure you can go watch it.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? And you guys are sitting around, and I think the biggest flaw that this one has, and this is not a spoiler, I think that because every game of Pandemic Legacy, you get 2 attempts at it. I think what they really should have done was if you fail your first attempt, there's like a 2-step process. You open the safe, and then you use the magic gun in the safe, made up example. If you don't crack open the safe in your first run through, I think they should just open it for you.
I agree. I think that would have been more fun. Kind of like I would have preferred if we had at the end of the Legacy game that we had been like, you won, but yeah, you could have done better, rather than you losers.
Just lose. This I think has so much sentimental value to me because naming locations, like naming things, writing on the board. We had so many inside jokes. Wendy and I and the couple that we played with became like really close friends over Season 1 and Season 2. And just the stories, the jokes that we still have to this day. This is the game that brought out the best Legacy experiences of any that I've had. So, yeah, that's why Season 2 is highest for me.
The Queen's Dilemma. So this one here, now, somewhat of a spoiler, you're seeing this video quite a bit after we've recorded it. So we are currently, when you're watching this, we're done with this, I hope. But we're also really far into it. We're more than halfway. Yeah. And I got to say, this game is just blowing me away. What are the numbers on this one?
This is your 4th and my 7th.
This one, they upped the game part of King's Dilemma, but it's still not like a super strong game. It's a fine game. Resources management, especially when you read all the rules. But the stories are just so interesting. Now, be careful, because we have talked about 4 or 5 games now. We're like, these are great for families. This one is not. This one is very adult situations. Think drugs or slavery or things like that. That's stuff that's going to show up here. You're making choices where you will often make choices. You're like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, and I don't say this lightly as a joke. This is basically trigger warning the board game. Like everything that could cause that type of, reaction in people. There is awful stuff going on. And the roles that you play, you're sitting there going, well, I'm actually trying to sway the city in favor of this awful, awful thing that I am, as a human, morally opposed to. But in the game, I got to get that sway. I got to make some money.
We're having like a light thing about it, right? Because if you get too caught into this, I think it would be like the darkness has swallowed you. But it's so fascinating too, because things that we do in the game 1 come back to haunt us later on. And I find it to be really fascinating.
Yeah, the branching pathways and the story that comes from it, even if you don't agree with it, the stories that open up are very interesting, very well done.
And well written.
Yeah, and this is my 7th, right? It sounds kind of low, but It's not really. It's beat out a lot of other games.
All right, Pandemic Legacy Season 1. This is the game that put Legacy on the map. Risk started it, but Pandemic sold out, went crazy. I wonder if this would be rated lower for me. This is
your fifth and my fourth.
I wonder if it'd be rated lower if I played it for the first time this year. You know,
you can't help but kind of retroactively judge a game. But when you really think about what its impact was, I think it still holds up very well. But you also have to give it props for being so pioneering, right?
Because you play through somewhere between 12 and 24 games. Because if you fail a month, then you replay that month. And now in a Legacy game, I'd be like, I got to replay it. Just let me fail forward, whatever. But at the time and the different events that happened in this, and even now, if I meet someone else who played Pandemic Legacy Season 1, I'd be like, remember what happened in this month? And they'll be like, I do.
And people just shake their fist at the air. Yeah. No, it's. I think that's why it still works. And I've been tempted to replay some of the Pandemic Legacies, actually. And I remember there was distinctly one time where it said, like, something along the lines of, it's April. Everything's going okay. Just play another game. And I thought, oh, that's kind of weak. So that's the thing is I think that the series got refined over time.
It did.
But the pressure of not letting a city outbreak in this game is still so tangible to me.
Yes.
And I think that's why it still holds up. It's not just fond memories. It is mechanically so good, story-wise so good.
Then we have Ticket to Ride Legacy, Legends of the West. This is my number 3 and your number...
My number 5.
All right. This one is really solid. This one does a really good aspect of it. Adds lots of new mechanisms and also subtracts them as the game goes by.
That's one of the best things about it, right? It still leaves new areas to play into with its own little nuances, but you don't have to... The middle games of this, you are balancing...
There's a lot
5, 6, 7 mini games at once, and then you see one or two of those fade off, and you go, "Oh, okay, this makes sense." So yeah, the end is not as overwhelming. Kind of has this big hump in the middle, but
also just Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride's a great game.
Yeah, what a great game!
All right, our second last one here is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. It's funny because this is where we agree.
Yeah, exactly. This is your second highest, my second highest, 2 and 2.
Because you like them 2, 0, 1, and I'm 0, 1, 2.
Yes.
This is my favorite of the Pandemic Legacies. It's just amazing. This one takes it in a very different direction.
Yeah,
the spy theme is very strong, and I love that spy theme. It adds it. There's like another mini game that's added to the Pandemic, and I had almost more fun with that than the actual Pandemic. But this just changed it up a lot, but also wasn't as wildly different as Season 2.
Which I think speaks to maybe why we like it, why Season 2 doesn't resonate with you as much, right? This is more in line with a basic game of Pandemic plus a twist. I think that this is phenomenal. I love the story. I love just that, just that investment you have with NPCs or like background characters and stuff too. So it's...
Yeah, one of my favorite things in this is not a spoiler. You get these passports with your character's special ability, like you have in Pandemic. And in the Pandemic Legacy Season 1, you would be switching forth. Here you flip to a new page in your passport. And that just... It's functionally almost the same thing, but it felt really good.
Well, it is it's an emotional level of investment because that's your passport. And you have, here's my Soviet identity. But I don't want to burn that identity and have to never be able to play it again. So it does have a small little extra level of investment. Oh, it's so smart. So smart.
All right, then my number 1, which Chris has not played, is Clank Legacy. This one just hit for me. And it's funny because this one is not ranked nearly as high as many others, although it is ranked 28 on Board Game Geek. That's pretty high. But I will say most people that I've met who have played this also consider this their favorite Legacy. It seemed to be that way.
And I bet, because deck building games do work well with Legacy elements, I think. And so I am interested in this one. The same kind of thing where I'm not a huge fan of basic Clank. I do like Catacombs more. And Wendy wasn't a big fan of Clank, so that's part of the reason I never played this one.
Sure.
I do want to. I think that if there's two that I really am invested in playing, I want to play this one and Risk are the two I think that I should kind of catch up on.
Well, there you go, folks. Those are our favorite legacy games without spoilers in the comments. Let us know what yours are. Which ones do you like? Which ones do you not like? Where are we wrong? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Chris Yee.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.